Hi everyone. So today I'm going to make this cookie. It's going to be like a big one pan type cookie. Chocolate with chocolate. It's going to be like a chocolate cookie with some ganache or chocolate on top. And there was a recipe out there for it, but by the time I figured out all the carbs and everything that go with it, it was high just for one piece. So this recipe I'm making should be lower in carb and taste just as good. And you don't have to worry about where to find sugar-free maple syrup, any of that. You can use whatever keto sugar you have. And mind you, when you do use certain keto sugars, you have to turn around and change up the carb count depending on what you have, because it all depends on what we have in the house. Now this, I'm going to be using allulose, and I'm going to be using coconut palm sugar, and it's just 1 tablespoon of it because I want that brown sugary taste. And coconut palm sugar is really good for that. So that's what we're going to be doing. So first we got to melt a tablespoon of butter, and that's what I'm going to do right here. And I'm just going to melt it in my little bowl. So I've never made this. This recipe is something I just came up with because that girl had what looked like really good, but I knew it was kind of high in carbs. And even though you're using, find a spot, can you see all my stuff's out? It's going to be too much. But even though you're using sugar-free sugars or you're using chocolate chips that are sugar-free, if you're doing what I'm doing, which is counting the exact carbs and not the net carbs, then you really want to watch. Melted. Then you really want to watch what you're doing. Now, mind you, I just did this recipe, so now I gotta see what we're doing. This one's gonna be just like baking. If you bake, you want to take and put all your wet ingredients together first, and then your dry. And I'm going to be using almond butter. I got that at Aldi's. And my recipe calls for a tablespoon of butter. Now we're going to be using almond butter. Granted, I keep having to look at you guys. Let me turn it a bit. Granted, I'm not a big almond butter fan, but it's good when I'm baking. So we're going to do that. And it's a 1/4 cup of almond butter. Oh, I want a knife. Get a butter knife. Need a 1/4. Try to keep all my measuring cups together. And it separates. And it's hard, so I gotta mix the oil back in. And I know some of this stuff can be expensive. Oh, my oven. But if you're like me, you may not use it very much. And I'm just making this because I just wanted a little chocolatey dessert later. And then I'm gonna make another recipe and show you. But this is just to kill my sweet tooth. Because I don't know about you guys, but being on keto, I get a bad sweet tooth. So this is just one way to kill a sweet tooth. So are any of you guys like me, where you end up baking or doing this all day, and then all of a sudden, by the time you get to eat it, you're like, I don't care anymore because I've spent all this time baking? That's how I get. This is the coconut palm sugar that I use. Can you see it? And this is the allulose I've been using. Now, I'll be honest with you, the allulose can upset my stomach, so I watch, but it works really well. Just trying to get a tablespoon. It works really good. This is 2 tablespoons. When I'm making my ice cream treats or all that wonderful stuff, oh, I'm going to say that's about right, because it's got a higher freezing point. Now, I don't know about you guys, but some of these sugars upset my stomach, so I have to be really careful. Sorry, it's all kind of clumpy. Really, really careful about what I eat. And I have found, this is 1 tablespoon of coconut palm sugar. Now, I have found that if I eat this type of sugars and they upset my stomach, I immediately go and I have Walmart sells what's called, and it's literally called this, digestive. It helps with protein. It helps doing, when you eat these sugars, it can help with bloating and all that wonderful stuff you can get when you're on keto. Now, I'm just mixing this together by hand. You can do it with a mixer or a blender. I'm just mixing it, and I'm trying to get the clumps out of the sugar because the allulose was clumpy. And let me know, do you get upset from the sugars that we offer or that we can eat on keto? Like I said, I do. You can see there's not a lot. It's not going to make a whole batch, but there you go. That's what it looks like with the butter, the almond, all of it. So now, oh, I got to add my vanilla. The vanilla ain't much. I think it's like 1 teaspoon. And I just put a little in. Now this recipe calls for protein powder. When you cook protein powder, it can get dry. It can make a cookie, it can make everything dry. So the key is to add more liquid so it doesn't get so dry. So I forgot a pinch of stevia. I do like this. I know a lot of people say stevia has a lot of aftertaste. This stuff that I find at Aldi's does not. Because I've had other stevias and it's just a pinch. This does not. So if you want some sugar, try the stevia powder from Aldi. And I've noticed that the stevia, the monk fruit, that type of stuff does not upset my stomach. Even erythritol, but xylitol does, and now I found out that allulose does. And that's why I say sometimes you need the digestive enzyme, and that really helps. Got that. Now let's see, my recipe calls for, I just made this morning. Now we're going to do the dry ingredients, which is almond flour. It's 1 cup of almond flour. And then it's going to be protein powder. Now, it calls for vanilla. And I'll be honest with you guys, that should be good, right? Yeah, that's 1 cup. I'm not using vanilla protein powder. I'm going to try the ISO 100 Fruity Pebbles or birthday cake. This one, can you see it? It's got Fred and Barney on it. It's a big jar. This one I think is 75 servings. Yep. And this protein powder does not upset my stomach. Like I said, I have issues. My stomach is very sensitive. So this is the protein powder I use. It does not upset my stomach. And this birthday cake is fantastic. It's so good. My husband even likes it. I've made ice cream with it. So my husband's like, ooh. So this is a 1/3 cup of the protein powder. And I'm going to use the birthday cake because I just think it's fantastic. And I like the taste. And it's going to add that little more cookie type feel, like almost a sugar cookie. And then it calls for a pinch of salt. Here we go with the pinches. Over the shoulder. Did your mom ever do that? Over the shoulder for good luck? And then it calls for, let me see. And we're going to mix this all in. This really needs some liquid now. She's dry. So now we're going to add in some cream. And we're actually going to even add in a little bit of chocolate chips. Gotta get my cream. And we're going to add in tablespoons at a time. The recipe calls for 1, but if it's really dry, add another until you get the consistency of cookie dough. I already know this is dry, so I'm adding 2. And we'll go from there. Now it says if your consistency is super dry, you add more milk or cream. And then if it's too moist, you're going to want to add more almond flour. Well, if you notice, I've already added 2 tablespoons, and you can see she's dry. So I'm going to need another tablespoon. I'm just trying to get all that almond butter and everything and sugar off and try to get it really mixed so I can see if I really need another tablespoon or not, but most likely I will. These types of recipes really, and the almond butter is drier than peanut butter. You could switch it out and use real peanut butter. You do not have to use the almond butter. But then again, that's going to change the carb count because almond butter is way lower in carbs than peanut butter. This one is 6 grams of carbs per 2 tablespoons, and then it's got 3 dietary fibers, so it ended up being 3 grams of net carbs. I still look at the regular carbs, which is how I'm balancing out my carb count. So I use this, and this is 8 grams of carbs per 2 tablespoons, 2 grams of fiber, so it ends up being 6 grams of net carbs. So you can see there's a difference. I'm going to add another tablespoon as I'm making a mess. But hey, if you don't make a mess in the kitchen, then you're not cooking. This would have been a lot faster if I would have had a mixer. Now it's got a little more consistency. Here you can see she's starting to come together. And what was that? 3 tablespoons. And now it calls for the chocolate chips. And I have sugar-free chocolate chips. I use the Hershey because I can get them at Walmart. I do a lot of shopping. I don't have many options. Walmart, Carb, and Aldi's pretty much. So that's where I get my stuff. Use a 1/3 cup. Seems like a lot. We're going to try it. Well, that's about a 1/3 cup. I don't got much left, maybe a 1/4. I'm just going to fold these in, making a mess. Did you see it flipping out? Now this kind of looks like chocolate chip cookies. It smells like chocolate chip cookies. I wish you could smell this. You would die. This smells exactly like a chocolate chip cookie. It smells so good. Now I'm going to see if I can get it all together here. I can move this over so you can see better. See my mess? Now I'm just going to press it into a cookie. She don't got to be perfect. Flatten her out some more. Realistically, she probably could have used 1 more tablespoon of cream. But I'm just going to fly with it. If she's crumbly and breaks apart, that's fine. I'm not really going to care. It's a cookie. Remember, cookies crumble. I'm just trying to get the edges so they're not so out the sides there and crumbly. Can you see? She looks like a giant cookie. That's what we're making. So now she's going to bake. What does it say? I should get 16 pieces. I don't know if that's going to make 16. I forgot. Bake at what temperature did it? I totally forgot. And for how long? Totally forgot. How fun that is when you forget and I don't want to go looking all the time. Well, I guess I'm wrong. We're not baking. It's a no-bake cookie. So we got this part done. I have my oven on for no reason. Now we're going to make the topping. I didn't realize it was a no-bake. So now get some stuff out of our way. Now, the topping is going to be made with baker's chocolate. I have Ghirardelli, and I've got regular unsweetened bacon chocolate. So, we are going to make the chocolate top, which makes this even better. It's going to sit in the freezer for a couple hours. We're going to do 2 squares of Ghirardelli, which is 1 ounce, and we're going to melt this. And we're going to melt it with some coconut oil. If you don't have any, you can just replace it with more butter, because this calls for a tablespoon of coconut oil and a tablespoon of butter. I've got to find where I can open this somehow. She ain't going to open the way I want. So we're just going to do it this way. I'm going to have to wrap her or put her, just about 1. There. I'm going to get my pan, turn it on low, and it calls for a tablespoon of butter, which is what I got right here. I got peanut butter on here, so or almond butter. I'm just taking this tablespoon of butter, get that melting, and this I got to rewrap. And then we want 2 ounces of unsweetened, which I got to remember how many ounces. 1 piece is 14 grams, 1 ounce. I got to ask. I don't know. Hang on, I got to look it up. Oh, sorry, I'm back. So I had asked ChatGPT. I don't know. 14 grams is a 1/2 ounce. So this recipe calls for 2 full ounces. So according to the bakers, 1 piece is a 1/2 ounce. So I need 4 pieces. And that will make, if I can break it, it's a little over. And then we need the coconut oil. Now mind you, you can get coconut oil at Walmart just like this. It's MC oil. Or you could buy it from one of those websites that have coconut oil, your natural websites that sell it. And I'm putting that in. And now this should just all melt. This is actually used to be this because I used to take it to up your fat intake. It asks when you're on keto. But I went and bought from, trying to think, it was an herb place that sells herbs and a bunch of stuff. And I bought a big jug, like a gallon jug of coconut oil. and I use it because I use coconut oil for my popcorn. I love popcorn with coconut oil. I'm going to turn this up a hair because this has to get mixed. Grab a wooden spoon, get this mixing. You can see it's melting. Can you see? I'm going to melt this down. So what are you guys doing on a gorgeous day? It's gorgeous here. It's going to be warm. I am actually going to the movies. We're going to go see Devil Wears Prada 2. That's going to be my day. And am I cheating today? Yes, because I love popcorn. And who can go to a movie and not eat popcorn? And especially movie theater buttered popcorn? Oh, come on, right? That's where I'm at. Now, does this call? I gotta check and see. They're gonna ask for sugars because this is all unsweetened, but I don't think it is. I think it's just gonna leave it the way it is. I don't believe we're gonna add any sugar because the Ghirardelli itself has a little sugar in it. No sugar, because the Ghirardelli itself has sugar. And the butter and the chocolate just make it nice when, the butter and the coconut oil just make it really nice when you're doing these. So on a nice day like today, if I wasn't going to the movie, I'd be outside, enjoying the weather, let my dogs get out and run. They need to be groomed. It's grooming time. I got little Poms and they want to get outside and burn up some energy. And so that's what, oh, she's melted. Just about gone. You can do this in a double boiler, but with the coconut oil and the butter, it keeps it really nice and smooth. So here I'm going to show you, move some stuff out of the way. You're just going to take this and literally dump it right on. Doesn't that look good? This is going to be so tasty. It's going to be quite the little treat. Oh, I can sit here. I'm going to take my spatula, take this one, and we're just going to spread it out a bit so it gets all over the cookie. I want the whole cookie covered. Doesn't that look good? It's like one big chocolate mess. There she goes. She's covered pretty much the whole cookie. Now she's going to go in the fridge for a couple hours. And when she comes out, I will cut it up and show you what I got. This is going to be rich. So it's supposed to make 16 pieces. We'll see. I probably only be able to eat a little bit like this. But so we'll see you when it's done. It's been a couple hours. It's been sitting in my freezer. Here's what it looks like. Let's see how it cuts up. I think I'm going to try my pizza roller. Well, that ain't going to work. I know what I want to use. Get the big knife. I'm excited to taste this. There. I'm going to try to cut the other side now and get it cut through. I think I did. Let's go here. See if I can get under it, right? There. Got one. That's what it looks like. That's pretty good. This is really good. And actually, you probably could have thrown all the ingredients in together. Now what I do is cut these up. It's rich. And then I'm going to turn around and throw them in a bag and freeze them. Or a freezer container. That way you can have them for quite a while. But it's good. It's rich and decadent. You know, really curbs the chocolate craving. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye.